So we're going to look at what's called the balance method to solve simple algebraic equations. So if we look at this diagram here, we've kind of got one of those old school scales where if you put one mass or one amount on one side and an equal amount on the other side, then the scales will balance. If one's heavier than the other, then they'll become unbalanced, right? So if we look at this diagram here, we can see at the moment that we've got a blue square and then two pink squares on the left. Well, let's break that down. The blue square is an unknown amount. We're going to call that x. And the pink squares are 1 unit each. So at the moment, on the left-hand side, we've got an unknown amount plus 2. And then on the right-hand side, we've got 5 pink squares. So we can say that that's equal to 5. What our job is to do is to find out what the blue square is equal to. What number is this, right? Or how many squares is it made up of? You can probably already tell what the answer is, but we just want to develop some understanding of how to solve these problems using algebra. So you hopefully realize what we could do to balance these scales and find out what the blue square is we could take away these two pink squares, right? So we can take away 2 from the left-hand side, but what that's going to do is it's going to unbalance things. The left side now is going to weigh less than the right side, right? So we're going to get the scales being unbalanced. So what we need to do is we need to take away 2 on the right-hand side as well. So if we get rid of that and that, the scale should be balanced, right? Because we did the same thing to both sides. So we should get a situation where the scales are balanced again. And in fact, that's what we get. So you can see now that x, which is the blue square, must be equal to 3. And that's obvious, right? Something plus 2 equals 5. So the something must be 3, right? But what we did is we developed a method using what's called the balance method to do the opposite thing to both sides. So we plus 2. So what we're going to do is going to subtract 2 from both sides. So x plus 2 minus 2 is just x, which we have here. And 5 minus 2 is 3. So we get x equals 3. So hopefully you can see how that method might be useful for more complicated questions, which we'll go through a little bit later on. Just sticking with this idea for now, though, see if you can try this problem. And just going to make it a little bit harder. We're just going to say, all right, now we've got an x, an unknown amount, but we've got minus 2. And so we're going to use gray squares to represent minus 1 unit. So on the left, we have x minus 2, and on the right, we have positive 4. See if you can work out what x must be and see if you can use the balance method and think about how you could use this balance method in real life to sort of work this problem out. All right, good luck.